Today I'm going to show you a great formative assessment tool called GoFormative.com. This assessment tool is great for creating an assignment. Then you just have to assign it to a student. You can have review live results, and then you can give instant feedback. You can even give it an instant grade. So I'm going to show you how to use this tool today. The first thing that you need to do is go to GoFormative.com. So open up your browser and let's get started. Now, you should follow along with me. You can pause this video at any time. A great tool that I use is I split my screen so that I can have the video on the left side and what I'm doing on the right side. So first thing you need to do is once you go to GoFormative.com, click on Sign Up. And then it'll say formative accounts are free. So this is a free assessment tool that you can use with your students because it's free for the teacher and for the students. Sign up as a teacher, so you're going to click up sign up as a teacher. If you have a Google account, you can use sign up with your Google. It's that easy, or you can just go in and put in your first name, last name, email address, and then you get to assign your password. Your students can sign up exactly the same way. So if you click under the student account, you can have your students go in and also sign up that way. So you could pause the video at this time so that you can sign up as a teacher. I am going to back out of this because I am already signed up. So I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to, once you've signed up, then you just click in Login. And I signed up with my Google account, so I'm just going to say sign in with Google. And so I signed in with my Google account, and it comes to the first that comes up is what we call your dashboard. And you have three tabs in your dashboard. You have your assignments, so this is where I'm going to create my formative assignments. I have my profile. You could go into your profile. This is where if you need to update your email, you can update your name. You can add a picture, grade levels you teach, and then you can add different things in here. You can change your password and your account in this location. The next part is classes. You can actually go in and create a class or several classes, depending on how many classes, depending on what you teach. And you can either enroll your students or you can have your students enroll. And to have your students enroll, all you need to do is use this class code. So this is an awesome tool to use. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to create an assignment. If you start using this a lot, you probably want to create folders. So the first thing that I would do once I start using this a little bit more, I'm going to go in and do folders for each of my classes I have just to keep myself organized. But now we're going to create a new assignment. So I'm going to click New Assignment. Up at the left-hand corner, it says Untitled Formative. This is where you're going to give it a name. And I am just going to call this Practice. Okay? And within this, we can add questions. These questions can be multiple choice, show your work, short answer, true or false. Multiple choice is good because it will actually grade it for you. When I use GoFormative, I'm not going to use multiple choice. I have other assessment tools that I'm going to use that are just more for multiple choice questions. This one particularly, I like to use this for showing your work and giving short answers. True and false is another question that there are several other tools out there that you can use for those particular things, but it's great that they have those options for you. And I'm going to show you how to create a multiple choice, show your work, and short answer questions. The other cool thing about this tool is that you can actually add content. You can add images, you can add text blocks. In this text blocks, you can actually create links to other websites if you want to, so they can go out and do some learning. You can have a whiteboard, so you can go and draw your information on there or write some more information. And you can also find YouTube videos that you can attach for content learning. I think these tools are great if, let's say that you have a sub for a day and you want learning to continue in your classroom and you don't necessarily feel comfortable with the sub teaching your material. You can actually use this add content and give them the information that they need. I will be showing you how to use this also in this presentation. The third thing that's listed here is upload and transform. You could actually, let's say you have a sub coming in, you have a worksheet created, but they need some content to go with that. You could upload that worksheet in here and you could attach your videos that you want to show your kids or your links to your websites that you want them to read. So this is a great tool for that. I'm going to go ahead and back out of this because I'm going to show you how to use this in a little bit and later on in this video. So let's go back to adding a question. The first question that we're going to add is a multiple choice question, and it's pretty simple. You just go in and you type in your question. I teach computer science, so I'm going to throw in a computer science questions in here. So you just type in your question. And you guys can type in whatever question you would like to type in right now for practice. And then you just click next to the A. I always make sure I put a couple spaces in there. Otherwise, on the student side, it'll look like the A is part of the word. So you want to make sure that you put some separation when you are doing this. And after you answer these, then what you're going to do is go back and you will see where the check marks are along the left-hand side. You're actually going to select one of those, and that will be the correct answer. So that way it can grade it for you, and you do not have to grade this particular assignment, this particular question, sorry. And so this is the incorrect answer, so I'm going to put a check mark next to that. Notice it puts the correct answer there. Right here is points, so you can come over here and you can increase the points or you can decrease the points. So you can put your own point value in those particular questions. If you decide that, oh, I do not want this question, you can come up here and hit the trash can and that will get rid of it. Now I want to add another question, so I just scroll down, click Add Question. This time I'm going to do Show Your Work, and what I'm going to have them do on this one is I'm going to have them draw the indices for Abraham Lincoln. Now I can come in and add a background image into this, or I can edit the student canvas. So I'm going to choose Edit the Student Canvas. Now this is this is popping up. So here's where I could choose to put in a image if I wanted to. But what I want to do in the student canvas is I want to write the word Abraham Lincoln. So I'm going to click the text, the larger text, and I'm going to type in Abraham Lincoln because the student is going to have to put something underneath Abraham Lincoln, the indices. So now I've edited their canvas, and we will take a look at the student's question what it's going to look like for the students in just a little bit. Okay, I can also change the color up here if I want to. So I'm going to scroll down, and once again I could change the point value. I'm going to go ahead and leave this one at 10 points. And now I'm going to add a third question, and this one is going to be short answer. And for this particular question, I'm going to have them write a line of code that causes the word hello to be printed. Okay, now then I can come down here and click for the correct answer. So I'm going to type in the correct answer. And this particular one actually has 2 possible answers. Well, actually has more than that, but the kids should know it should be one or the other of these 2 answers. So that is what I'm going to put both answers, because this is also another one that you could have it graded for you. So on this particular case, I would probably go back and look at the students' answers, but I would also allow this to be graded for me. So these are the 3 questions. So I've showed you how to do a short answer. I showed you how to show your work with changing the student's canvas, and I've also added a multiple choice question. There are arrows here, so I could move these questions into different orders, as you can see as I go through here. So you could rearrange these questions however you would like to rearrange them. Now I'm going to come up here to where I have build right above my title, and I'm going to click preview. So now I can take a look at what it's going to look like on the student side. So notice it has created on the canvas there for the student. Then the next thing I can do is assign. So now I can go and assign this particular formative. I have a class called Introduction to Computer Science. I could assign it to that class by clicking on the box. And as you can see, it says this class is open. I can also add or edit classes if I want to. So that's one way of doing it. So if you have a class and you have your students enrolled in it, that would probably be the easiest way to assign it. The other way to assign it is you can assign it to everyone. And when you assign it to everyone, it gives you an access code down here, and it wants the students, so right here is our access code, and this then the students will need to go to goformative.com/join. And when they do that, well, first of all, they will have to enter your access code. So you will need to make this available to your students. Other ways that you can do this is you could provide the link for the students. So you could give them the link that they need to go to. This could be a copy and paste into an email to the students if you wanted to do it that way. You could also put it on a website or on your LMS if you want to use that. If you have Google Classroom, you can click on the Google Classroom, and then this will tell you how to post it on your Google Classroom. And then if you have like a blog or a website, you can actually embed this code in there and it will give them access also. I use the quick code with my students right now because we're just getting started on using this tool. So what I'm going to do now is I've made this available, so I'm going to switch over so we can see what it looks like on the student side. And we're going to actually take the quiz on the student side and then come back as a teacher and you can see the live results. So if you want to open up another browser, you can do that. One of the tricks I do is I like to use Chrome. So in your Chrome, if you go over to the right hand side, you can do new incognito window. So that will allow you to open up another Chrome and you can go in as a student. So I'm going to minimize this. Here is my other browser open, and as you see, I have typed in GoFormative.com student/pound/join. So this is going to take me, technically, if I just go in and type GoFormative.com join, it's going to take me to the student site. Then I'm going to put in a quick code, which was the JAHP694, and then I'm going to click go. So now it's going to say, to begin, you need to sign up, or you can continue without logging in. You want your students to log in, because if they don't log in, then you will not be able to send them comments back. So I made sure my kids either signed up or logged in with their Google. We are a Google school, so I had my students log in with their Google account. Some wanted to use their personal Google. I try to have all my students use the student email. It just makes it easier to communicate. So I'm going to choose login with Google, and I'm going to choose my personal account because I've already signed myself up here. So I have put in that access code. So here's the test that I created as a teacher. So we're going to go through and I'm going to answer these questions. Okay. I am going to make sure that this question I answer incorrectly. So the students know it says draw the indices. So that means I'm going to come down here and I'm going to use this tool, pencil. If you're on an iPad, they could just use their finger and it's awesome. So, but on a computer, they can just draw with their mouse. So I'm going to draw these indices. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I am putting in the incorrect answers, and this answer is technically not correct. So I am purposely answering it incorrectly. Okay? So then put this answer in there, and now I am going to scroll down. It says write a line of code that causes the word hello to be printed. So see, this just automatically, they know that they can just print in there, and that's the only thing that they can do. So that's, now they can submit this, but I'm not going to submit it yet because as a student is doing this, I would be giving the student feedback. So I am going to scroll, I'm going to click back into my teacher. So here's my teacher, and I'm going to scroll up to the top here, and here it says live results. So I'm going to click live results. And now, looking at the bottom half of my screen, you can see where my student has answered the question. We're on question number 1. Now, I'm viewing this by single questions. You can do it by a summary. I do single questions because if I have 25 kids in my classroom, I'm going to have 25 boxes up here, and I'm going to be trying to look at those as quickly as I possibly can. The multiple choice questions are nice because it's graded at for you, and I can tell that it's graded already because right here it says auto, and then it has a green box in the upper right hand corner. If I click that green box, it tells me that they answered that question correctly. Okay? And it tells them how many points that they received. Okay? I could also give them a feedback that says great job. Okay? And then that's going to give them feedback. Now, I'm going to move on to question number 2. Also notice in this box I gave them a feedback. So there is a feedback icon in the lower right hand corner. Now I'm going to click on question number 2. Remember, this is the one that I said I answered incorrectly. Notice that there is no green box up here, so this one has not been graded yet, and now I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to leave a comment like, remember indices, spell it, start at 0, okay? And then I'm not going to grade this one yet because I'm going to give them the opportunity to fix this answer. And my students know if I have to give them a hint that they're going to lose a point, okay? So then I'm going to go to question number 3. This was a short answered one. They did this correctly. And notice this was my second choice that I put on my original question for answers, but is autocorrect, and it gave them the points they needed, and I could still, if I wanted to, give them a comment on this one, okay? And then they will have that comment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch back to my student, and as you can see, I'm in here, and look, the comments are showing up at the bottom. So this one says, remember indices start at 0. So now my student is going to go in and correct this. So they can just either, to correct this, they can hit delete, and that's going to ask them, are you sure you want to clear your entire canvas? They're going to say yes, and then they're going to come in and click this, and now they can start and put in the correct answer, and then they could just fill that out the rest of the way through, okay? And then they could come down, and then they will submit. Then I'm going to minimize this and go back in, as I'm just going to flip over back to the teacher side, and I'm going to go back to question 2 now, and I'm going to grade this for this student, and I'm going to give them a 9 because I had to give them a hint. Okay, so now I've basically graded my students' work, and I can export their results. So I can come in here and click export, and then when I do that, CVS file or an Excel spreadsheet, when you get it, it's going to have first name, last name, total points, and then how many points they received. It also has it broken down by question. So this is really great. If I had my 25 students take this assessment, I could go back and look at which questions they missed the most and kind of reevaluate or maybe have to reteach that. It's great for data collection. So that's how you can export your information. So I've showed you how to create a basic formative assessment. So now I'm going to go back and show you how you can create a formative assessment with a worksheet that you've already created, and you can import it in here. So I'm going to click my initials in the upper right hand corner, and then I'm going to click profile. This is going to take me back to my dashboard, and then I'm going to click my assignments tab, and I'm going to click new assignment. So I'm going to name it again. And this one I'm going to call practice 2, and I'm going to come and I'm going to do upload and transform. So in this upload and transform, I could do one of 2 ways. I could either drag a document from my desktop over to this gray area, or I can click to upload, and I'm going to choose to click to upload. The worksheet that I'm going to choose, this is 5.1.23. If you notice, I have this worksheet in 2 formats. I have it in a Word and I have it in a PDF. It is highly recommended that you upload a PDF so that it does not lose its formatting when it's been uploaded to this tool. So I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to click open. And then it loads my worksheet. So here's my worksheet. Notice how the cursor has changed to a square with a plus sign in the middle of it. And what that is saying is I can now add content or questions to this predetermined worksheet. The nice thing about this worksheet and be able to use this tool is, let's say that I have a sub for the day and I still need my students to get the content that they need. It's teaching computer science, it's really hard to find a sub that can come in and sub and teach computer science or A+ computer repair. So this is a great tool to add videos if I want to. I can also add links to different websites that I want my students to go read. So for this, I'm going to click, and the first one is I'm going to add content, and I'm going to add a YouTube video. Now, with this YouTube video, if there is a particular video that I already know that I want to use, I can just enter the URL. Otherwise, I can also search. So I'm going to search operating systems, okay? And while it's doing that, I'm going to give this content a name called operating systems, okay? And then I could scroll down, and here are some videos. Now, normally I would go through and I would watch these videos before I would select them, but for this particular case, I am just going to click select. I know I've watched, this is Linus, I've watched several of his videos, so I'm just going to go ahead and select Linus. My kids also like to watch his videos. So here's this video, I've selected this, and then I'm going to click done. So I have that video up, and now I still want them to fill in this box. So after they watch the video, then I'm going to click add a question, and I'm going to click short answer. And then they will have a short answer area to type that in. I could actually type the correct answer down here if I wanted them to grade this for me. This is going to be a subjective answer, so I am not going to put a correct answer in there. I want to look at these myself. Then I can go over to certification titles. I can click on there. I can click content again, and this time I could choose text block. So in this text block, as you notice, it's like WordPad comes up, and I can actually add a hyperlink. So if I wanted to insert a link, and I'm just going to make up a website here, so I could put in this URL, and I should probably put my HTTP in front of there. And then I could give it some text if I wanted to. So if this is the website that I wanted my students to go to, I could do that, and I'm going to click open link in a new tab. So then I would click insert, and then all my students have to do is click on that, and that's going to take them to a website that discuss certification titles. So then I'm going to click done, and then I'm going to give them another short answer question so that they can put in their work, okay? And then I can do this all the way through. Then down here I can come in, and it says use the internet newspaper, so this is my question, and once again I could either add content, or I want them to put an answer in there because I want them to do their research, and I could actually link them to a specific browser or search engine if I wanted to. So this is how you can take a worksheet and you could add content to it, and you can add questions to it. I can go now, and let's look at the preview of this. And so this is my preview. My students would just click on the video, and the video would come up. Then they could come here and put in their answers. So I would fill this all out with questions so that they could fill in the answers that I could look at. And then once again, we're going to have our live results, okay? But before I could do that, I would need to assign this just like I did before. So I could assign it to everyone, or I could do it just to a specific class. And here is the code that they need in order to get into this practice. Here, I just showed you 2 different ways that you could use GoFormative.com for assessment tool. I showed you how to see your live results, how to give feedback to your students, how to grade it for your students. I also showed you the student side of GoFormative.com and how the students can use it and how they can see their comments and how they can change answers. I highly recommend this tool. I would recommend that you use this and try it out with your students. If you're going to use it with your students, I would recommend that first of all you show them the student side and show them how to use show your work, because that seems to trip up a few kids, and you need to show them how to edit by using the trash can. So good luck with GoFormative.com.